Hi, my name is Emily Reilly. I'm the Assistant Project Director for StarNet Regions 1 and 3. StarNet is a federally funded project that provides training and technical assistance for adults who work with young children, birth to 8, and their families with an emphasis on children with special needs. Today I'm here to share a resource with you that I'm hoping many of you will find valuable during this very unusual, strange context that we find ourselves in. Our lives has really changed quite a bit, right, in the past month and a half. And I know if you're feeling anything like me, you might feel even overwhelmed too with the amount of information that's kind of coming in and how to process that. So I want to be very mindful of that and just provide a few quick tips that actually come right from the Pyramid Model Consortium. And one of the reasons I chose the Pyramid Model is because here in Illinois, we have been investing significantly in implementation of that model across the state in a variety of contexts. So state-funded early childhood programs, home visiting programs, child care, we're all working to implement these social emotional evidence-based practices in our work, and I'd like to highlight that model today and just notice and recognize that the pyramid model has been very responsive and has also developed a very helpful and practical tip sheet that you can use as far as trying to reassure your children and communicate with them during this really unusual time. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen so you can follow along here with the handout. Here we go. So the very first step here is remaining calm and reassuring children. Remaining calm is important because children look to you as their guide as far as how to respond as well. I know this can be challenging. You yourself might not always feel calm. So one of the recommendations I have to help yourself feel calm is to really consider and think about the things that you do have control over and just communicating factually to young children. So, if a child is feeling anxious or concerned about whether they might be sick or getting sick or someone in their family is going to get sick, you can respond to that by acknowledging, I know this is a really scary time right now and you're concerned and worried about whether you might get sick. We are washing our hands more often, we're staying home, and we're implementing the plan that our community leaders have set out for us to help keep us safe. So just communicating the strategies, what you are doing, can be useful in helping your child remain calm, as well as if you're able to remain calm as well. Also, children at this time, they're going to miss their routines previously, right? Maybe if going to grandma's house was something you did frequently, or visiting certain people was a routine that you had throughout the week. Trying to think about how you can provide that in a new way, because the connection right now is still really important and can help children feel calm and safe and secure during this time. So while you might not be able to physically go and visit friends and family, you can acknowledge and say, I know you're really missing seeing your friends and family. Would you like to set up a video chat, or we could write a letter? So again, we're physically distancing right now, but the connection is still really important. So that social connection. So thinking about ways that you can still provide that experience and opportunity for children, but it's just going to look a little different right now. Tip number 2 here is providing positive attention. So positive attention can come in a variety of formats. One of the things I recommend is really just trying to laugh and smile and be silly with your children. This, reduces those happy hormones. It can be contagious, and then ultimately it can just help you feel better, reduce stress, help you feel like you can, connect a little bit more and be focused once some of those happy hormones are released. I know right now it can be challenging. Some days you might not feel like laughing. So, and that's okay too. But you might think of ways, maybe is there comics you can read, or watch a funny movie, or just do something that, I know for me, dancing with my child oftentimes makes me laugh and have a good time, and that can, again, just releases those happy hormones, and some of that frustration I might have felt earlier in the day kind of washes away a little bit. As far as providing some more positive attention through feedback, we can do that through being very descriptive. If there are particular things that you notice your child's doing throughout the day that you would like that to happen again, you might want to give some positive feedback. So, oh, wow, you put your pants on all by yourself this morning. That was so helpful. Or, oh, when you were playing with your brother, he was really laughing. Um, he had so much fun with you while you were playing peekaboo. And so providing that positive feedback might increase the likelihood of some of those type of interactions to occur in the future. Tip number 3 is teaching safety habits. So right now you might need to be a little more explicit about that, and again, you can link that back to these are things that are going to help us be safe, and that can help children also kind of remain calm and reassure them. So sitting down and kind of modeling those expectations. I know particular in my household right now, washing hands is increased a little bit, and it's not necessarily a preferred activity. So trying to make it fun, and also think about incorporating choices. Young children really benefit from that because it gives them a sense of control. So even just something simple like washing hands. Do you want to wash your hands at the kitchen sink or the bathroom sink? Making it fun and integrating the choice too. Do you want to leap like a frog or bounce like a bunny? So the past week, that's really motivated my daughter to wash hands more, because a lot of times she's protesting that now, like, oh, shows me your hands. They're not dirty. I don't need to wash. And so think about how you can make it fun and include some choices. The next tip is being available. So you can think about this in a variety of ways. So being available for responding to questions. So if you have really young children, you might be getting a lot of why. You might be getting the same question over and over. Older children, you might ask you really tough questions too. So again, just trying to be factual. So a young child might, wonder why people are wearing masks, or why do I have to wear a mask when I leave the house? So again, just being direct and brief about that, and linking it back to this is a practice that's helping us stay safe and preventing the spread of illness. Also, you can be available by just listening to your child. We all are going to have a variety of different reactions. We're all not reacting the same way, and we have a variety of emotions day to day, moment, hour to hour. So just listen and reassure, validate your child's feelings. So maybe they're feeling pretty bummed out or depressed because they're missing their spring baseball season, or they're missing their spring sing concert. And acknowledge that. I know you're feeling pretty upset and disappointed. You were really looking forward to your spring sing concert. So, and just ending it there. I know oftentimes as a parent, we always want our child to feel happy. And so sometimes inadvertently we might redirect, and then they're not able to express that emotion and feeling. So just, validate and acknowledge that feeling that they're having. And then the other way to be available is just simply being responsive. So noticing, um, how your child is feeling throughout the day. Looks like you have a lot more energy today. Let's go ahead and take a break. Let's do some exercise. Let's run around outside for a little bit, or dance. Maybe you notice they're feeling more agitated or frustrated as they're trying to get some of their e-learning done. Maybe they're just frustrated with the expectations, or getting stumbled up with something. Recognize that, be flexible. It's okay to take a break, and let's change kind of our activity or input that we're getting right now. So, and that can help kind of recenter and refocus. The last tip here is planning your day. So here, planning the day can really provide some predictability for your child, which right now there's a lot of unpredictability in the world. So again, thinking about within your household, what are some things I have control over? And so that's the routine and what the day looks like. The key to this is really, including your child in the process and letting them know about the day and the routine. So in the morning, as you are kind of getting started for the day, okay, let's take a look at our schedule, and maybe take a look at just the morning if your child's really young, or just a couple of the first 2 tasks if your child is young. If you have an older child, you might even just engage them in the process. Hey, looks like, here's your expectations from the week from your teacher. Let's sit down and kind of build that into your schedule. When do you think you can get that done? What help might you need to get that done? Kind of laying out those expectations in advance can be really helpful as far as reducing your own frustration and supporting your child as well as feeling like they've got that routine and schedule, and that they can get this done, because children might be feeling overwhelmed as well with the amount of work that they might be needing to do from home that they're used to doing in a school setting. For young children, again, the visuals can be really helpful with the daily schedule. So showing what's going to happen, and also building in some things as far as visual cues as well. So for my child, she's fairly young. So initially, there was not a lot of independent playing going on. I think my expectations were not quite, um, you know, I was thinking I would get a little bit more done and she would play more. So we had to kind of work through this, and it's something we're still um, kind of working our schedule out. But one of the things that I found helpful, and I've seen as well, she's been a little more independent in the last week or two, is setting up like the timer. I have to do this for a period of time, whether it's 30 minutes, 15 minutes, and then after that, then we'll go outside or play the game together. So building in those family connection times can also be helpful, and helping children kind of stay focused, because they know, okay, next after this, so first I'm going to do some playing on my own for a little bit, and then I get to um, play with my person, my adult, or whoever it is at home that I'm really wanting to spend some time with and interact. So those are just a few things that I found to be helpful throughout the day. Even if you've set up that routine, doesn't mean that children are going to always follow that routine, right? But the main goal here is that we're trying to provide a sense of predictability, which can help provide that sense of safety and security in a time where it really is needed. So those are the 5 tips, again, right from the pyramid model. I'm going to go ahead and actually pull up their website really quick. It is just challengingbehavior.org. Here's where you'll find a few more resources very specific to responding, helping children and families cope in emergency and disaster situations. There's a book here, I Can Be Safe and Healthy by Washing My Hands, that anybody is able to download and use as well with their children. So I hope you have time. If you have time, I know there's not a lot of that in excess, and so but these resources, a lot of them are just one-page tip sheets. So I encourage you to take a look there if you're wanting to follow up with some more resources. So thank you so much for going through these tips with me today. I want to let you know that StarNet is always available for questions or support resources. You can find us online at starnet.org. And in closing, I just want to remind everyone to be kind to yourselves. Parenting is really hard and challenging in this new context. So we have new struggles, and these practices that you start implementing, if you have a chance to try one, you might not see an immediate response. Sometimes it takes time. So try to be consistent if you can. And again, if it doesn't work well one day or you don't do any of it one day, just don't beat yourself up about that. Be kind, and it's the next day is a new day, and you can try some new things. So I wish all of you well. Take care. Thanks so much.